All right, we're gonna talk about the new Eagle Air Raven SCBA compressor. Pretty simple machine. First thing is your green power on button. You can start that. You'll either hear it kick on or you'll see the yellow standby come on. When yellow standby comes on, it means that your storage tanks are already full. You can confirm that they're full by looking at your gauge up here. If it's roughly 6,000 or right around 6,000, you know that you're full, and that's why it's on. This is a 4-stage compressor, basically meaning that when it starts, the first stage, you can see there's black marks on each one of these at different levels. The first stage is a large piston working all the way down to about the pinky size piston, and it just compresses the air up to 6,000 psi. All of this is calibration and air monitoring stuff. That'll be something done every 90 days by someone that's trained to do it. And you can check your days by hitting the star button, and it says next CO calibration in 90 days. If it goes to 0, you won't be able to use the machine and fill. Anything over here with these red dots, that's stuff that we won't be touching. If it's got a red dot on the handle, that's for maintenance purposes and we won't be touching it. The actual filling of the cylinders, we have a step-by-step layout. You could do 4 bottles at a time. Just some of the visual cues that we have laid out. Green dots, green handles are things that we will be touching. And you can see every knob has an associated color with the fill line associated with that knob. Same here. To fill bottles, it's a very simple process for us. All right, so now we're going to fill some bottles. Obviously, eye and ear protection are going to be staged. I'm going to put this on at the last minute so I can hear myself. As we discussed earlier, push the green button to turn it on. Again, we get the standby so we know ours is full. If not, the compressor will kick on. We're going to put our ear protection on. Doesn't matter which one you put it in, it all comes from the same 6,000. So we have our quick step-by-step instructions. Number 1, press the green button. 2, insert SCBA bottles into the appropriate slot. So ensure that your knobs are open, and ensure that the knob colors correlate with the line designated colors, so orange and orange, yellow and yellow. So that's going to be for that knob, that's going to be for that knob. You'll only shut the knob off if you're only using 1 bottle. If you have 2 bottles, they're both open. Confirm the upper vent with the large green sticker is closed. Then you can turn your bottles on. This will equalize the pressure between the 2 bottles. This one here is at about 20. And this one here is about 35. You'll see on your gauge that they'll equalize. Close the door. Confirm that it's closed. Above the SCBA door, it's the small green button is your fill. You're going to turn the knob slowly like we did on our last compressor. You don't want to hot fill these if at all possible. So you'll slow fill, you can watch your gauge rise. We're filling to a preset 4500. It's preset with the regulator, so that's all these two will fill to is the 4500. So if for some reason you did walk away and forget, you won't overfill these. So once you reach 4500, this will keep letting air out. It won't fill the bottle, but it will keep letting air out. So you are going to have to close it. You can see that we dropped below 58, so our compressor automatically kicked on, and our yellow standby light went off. That's it to fill the bottles. Just using these here. Now we're going to disconnect. So to disconnect, our bottle's filled. We've shut the fill valve off. We can confirm our bottle's full. We're going to open this. Again, you're going to reconfirm that it's off. You're going to shut your SCBA bottles off. Once those are off, you'll come back up top to your vent knob. That's your little vent purge valve. You can reclose that. Now you can disconnect your SCBAs, your bottles. And because we're leaving these open, we don't have to do anything with those. So a couple other little things with the compressor. You have a light here. It lights up multiple stages throughout. The drain for this, just like our normal air compressors, we have a bottle back here. The drain is open. We will have to drain that occasionally. You could just look at it and tell if it needs drained or not. You have a drain light here. It will not come on because that is open to drain into that bottle. When the air compressor is running, we have an emergency stop here. We only want to use that as a last resort. We always want to hit the stop 10-second delay to shut it off. By using the stop 10-second delay, it allows the motor to put itself in neutral and it purges the system of any air. So not only does it purge when it shuts off, there is a purge button. You can push it at any time. It doesn't do really anything. It does release the condensation out of the system. But when the compressor itself's running, every 13 minutes, you'll hear an air brake sound almost, and that's the system self-purging. So as long as you just let it do its thing and hit this red stop button, you don't have to worry about the blue purge button. Another thing to mention is below the emergency stop, it says reset. If you hit the on button and it's not coming on, something to try, back up. If you hit the on button, the tank is not full and it's still not coming on, push it in, turn it, that resets the system. That should give it something, that should clear any codes that are in here. Another reason why it may not come on is if this door is open for any reason, it will not come on. Lastly, we can fill the still air tool bottles in these systems. If you are going to do that, you have to come in, push the regulator in, and turn it to decrease. You turn it to where we want it for that. And then you could fill it as normal in these like you would a normal SCBA bottle. Side note, just remember that the steel bottles are only for the tools, and the Scott SCBA bottles are only for breathing, and they're not to be used crosswise. Lastly, if you had bottles in there, everything was hooked up, that's all you'll hear. It won't fill if it doesn't lift and close like that.